I could go back and be like, bro, don't even bother. Nobody's going to be happy no matter what you do. So do it the way you want.
Hey everyone, I'm back for week 2 of Man Crush Monday with Dante and Puleio, the new artistic director of the José Limón Company. I hope you saw last week in the speed round, we had a blast and we were laughing, but now we're gonna get into a little bit more of where you came from, right? So I think of dancers as superheroes, and I'm a bit of a dork, so I love an origin story. Yes? So can you tell us where you grew up, how you started dancing, how dance found you?
Yeah, I'm a Jersey boy. I grew up, I didn't even know dance was a thing. I didn't know you could do that for like a living. And so I did some like dancing community theater, you know, when I was like 16 or 17, and I loved it, had so much fun.
Wait a minute, community theater, like a theatrical production?
Yes, it was, oh, we got some barking dogs. Yeah, I did Evita at Playhouse 22 in East Brunswick, New Jersey.
I love it. Okay, okay.
And
so
I was the tango. I had got to do the tango duet thing.
Wow.
And I loved it. It was so much fun. So I went to college. I thought I was going to be a psychiatrist. But I still like theater. So I did a little like theater minor or whatever. And you have to take like a dance class of like 5 weeks of modern, 5 weeks of ballet, 5 weeks of jazz. And I loved it. And the teacher was like, you've got a great facility. You should consider doing this. And I was like, okay. So I called my mom. I go, can I be a dancer or should I be a psychiatrist? What should I do? And she goes, well, you can always do the psychology thing later. She's like, go be a dancer now. Go live your life. I was like, cool, I'm gonna
You're the coolest mom ever.
Rock. So I moved to London. I started dancing at the La Bon Center, and then bing, bam, boom. I had a really
long career.
Yeah, 5 years later, I was in a company, and then now here I am, a director of a company.
Was Limón your first company?
I danced for Carolyn Dorfman my first year out of school, and then moved to the Limón Company the following season.
Also, I would like to say your classes in psychology will come in handy now that you're an artistic director.
Oh yeah, I talked to Danny Lewis, who was the first artistic director after Jose died. And he goes to me, he goes, welcome to the company. He was like, you have just turned into a psychiatrist for 12 dancers. I was like, what?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's delve in deep. What's the greatest challenge you have faced as a dancer?
You know, I'm a recovering people pleaser. And so it took a very long time for me to kind of get over that need to make choices based on what I think other people wanted.
Yeah.
And that was always my go-to. I'm like, oh, I think they want this, so I'll do this. I'll do this that way. I will perform this way. I'll dance this way because I know it'll make this person happy.
Right.
And you know, I think it was a disservice to me because I think I lost out on some liberating like stage moments for myself because I was kind of kept myself in a specific kind of box.
I love that. Say that again. You're a liberated people pleaser. Did I say it right?
Yeah, I'm a recovering people pleaser. Yeah,
oh my gosh, I think that dancers, because that's a fine line as a dancer, is because we strive for perfection and we look for that approval. There's a difference between growth and approval.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I love
like in class, you can really just give yourself away, but then I get on stage and I was like, oh, I better keep it safe. You know, I just wish I hadn't done some of that.
Okay, so what inspires you? Like, do you like paintings? Do you like below deck? Like what inspires you?
I read. I love reading. Books really kind of just take me away. So I have that kind of world where I can just envision something else entirely. So living in that really is great for me. I love swimming. I like biking. You know, I'm such like a physically active person. I like CrossFit. I like to be super physical, but so by the end of the day, I'm exhausted. So those kinds of two things really keep my physical, my brain going and my body going.
You know, I talk about this, I think I talked about Sterling Baca yesterday. We had a discussion about how I always say that to be a whole human, you have to have a physical, a mental, and a spiritual challenge. And I think that's what you're saying, that dance, you know what I mean? Like we have to bring to the table in order to be a whole human, a whole dancer.
Yeah, and like each aspect of that has to be exhausted by the end of the day. Like that's how I feel like I've lived my day.
Okay, what do you like to do that has nothing to do with dance?
Oh, what do I like to do? Has nothing to do with dance. Oh, I love redecorating houses.
Really?
Yeah, like my sister and her wife, they are redoing their house, and I love it. Like it's my favorite thing. It's all we talk about all day. Oh, we can put this kind of counter here. We can do this there. Maybe
Creating
we're
the
not.
space.
Yeah,
Carving the
love it.
space. Oh my gosh, I totally love that. Do you watch HGTV? Okay.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Like a Chip and Joanna type of thing? Or
Yes.
like the island redecorating?
Yes, to all of it. Yeah.
All of it.
Whatever is on at like 11:30, I'm going to watch.
Okay. What do you love about contemporary dance and what do you dislike about contemporary dance?
Oh, I love the freedom. I love the theater of it. I love like how it can be really dramatic and then really pedestrian all in a breath.
Right.
I love the history of it. I love the future of it. I love dancing in socks. I love dancing barefoot. I love the intensity that comes with the history of it, like those old videos of all the extra drama, and then how we're like super cool and pedestrian today. I love all of that stuff. What I don't love about it is, like we were saying, like sometimes it gets really serious. And I miss some of the playfulness of it. And like, even as a choreographer, I had such a hard time making pieces that were fun or funny. It's just not natural to me.
It's hard.
It doesn't mean I don't love it though. I mean, I did musical theater for years, and the personality that goes with musical theater is so light and fun. You're listening to Britney Spears, and it's, and then you go into contemporary and it's like, no, my soybeans are more organic than your alfalfa sprout, So it was like, I had such a hard time living between worlds because I lived in both and I wanted to be a part of both.
Yeah.
So maybe that was the part that kind of made it challenging.
Who is one of your favorite dancers of all time and favorite choreographers besides Limón?
We're gonna go Akram Khan for both.
Oh my, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I went to school with him, so we studied together. And like, he would come over to my house and we would like do some katak stuff. And then we would work on ballet together. And then he became like this mega famous superstar, and like watching his growth was amazing, and watching his growth artistically as a dancer and as a choreographer just continually blow my mind over and over and over again. And like, we just watched Giselle a couple weeks ago at the beginning of quarantine, like the one he did for English National. And I mean, I was like, how do you see all of this over and over again? Like, how do you just keep making these amazing moments happen? And it was beautiful and amazing.
Genius. So I went to the
Genius.
Shed.
Absolute genius.
I went to the Shed to see, what was the musical that it was like a ninja musical that it was like an anime musical recently. And I don't know that a lot of people like Star Ride.
Yeah, it wasn't
what it was. So I went to the Shed to go see it. I don't know that the rest of the story needed to be told, but the dancing was beyond. And I was like, if this could make it to Broadway, this would be like change the game forever. And someone's like, you need to write him and tell him. I was like, Maria Konrad says, lose the rest of the musical and bring this to Broadway. Like, done, But yeah, it was just phenomenal and theatrical and tasteful and accessible, like all the things.
All the things.
Are you going to have him in?
We'll have to stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that one.
Stay tuned for that one.
We need you. We need the grant money. We need you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, do you choreograph?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. And now when you do that, do you envision the music first? Do you wait for the dancers in the room? How does your process work with that?
Every time I go into the space, I'd like to have a new process. So I try not to get beholden to anything because I'm afraid I'll just make the same thing. I'm definitely like prone to, oh, that works. Okay, I'll just do that again. So I make sure that when I go into the space, it's like, okay, this time I'm going to start off with a costume idea. This time I'm going to start off with a specific piece of music. This time I'm just going to create a phrase on the spot. Another time I'll bring in like a set of phrases that we'll play with. So each time I try and make it a different experience.
I understand. Yeah. So I find that mostly when I'm like, this is the idea and these are the steps, I walk into the studio to the dancers and I go, nope, this is not it. This
not
is
happening.
not good at all. So I think that time and space to play is amazing. And I think it's amazing that you've had that time with Limón, like even through Zoom right now, as much as we all are over it at this point, you know, like, you know what I mean? That is the beauty of what's going on there. Yeah. So talk to me about the other beauty of Zoom is that dancers that would have normally never been able to make it to New York to train with you guys can now do so, right?
Yeah, we've had some, so we've been calling them the home editions. So we had home edition 1, which is like your normal New York intensive. But we had people from all over the world people from Sicily were taking class with us. Like like maybe a half hour from my grandfather's neighboring village, you know, just like wild connections. Then we had another one it was the teaching track. So a teacher's intensive that we would normally have over the summer anyway. And this one was great because we really like dived into what it was that teachers would be dealing with this fall, dancing and teaching online and Black Lives Matter. How are you going to confront those two issues when you walk into the space? And again, we were able to reach people all over the world. And then this last one was Home Edition 3, which was all improv based. We had a woman from India taking class, a woman from Argentina, and it's like we would have never had this opportunity. And now we're able to connect and reach with dancers and artists all over the world, and they can experience this and we can experience them, and like it's really rich for everybody
to be able to do. And will you be studying, could students study with you online in the fall?
Yeah, so what's happening now is we will have our Limón Pro that starts September 21st, and it's a 9-week program, and it's going to be synchronous. So it'll be like, you know, from 10 to 1, but obviously if there's a situation someone wants to do it, we can figure out some other asynchronous possibilities. But yeah, so you'll be learning the Limón repertoire. You'll be taking Limón classes every day. You'll be taking some ballet class, some contemporary classes based on the Limón principles. You'll be learning a new work by Jonathan Fredrickson, who dances for Pina Bausch, who also danced for the company. So it's a really great opportunity to explore how Limón exists now in the 21st century. You'll learn the history of it, you'll learn the future of where it's going, and working with all the different ways the work can show up in today's world.
That's so amazing.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it.
Of what this is now. So you know, that's amazing. Can you believe that we're at the end? Isn't this nuts of our interview?
Boo.
More.
We want more. Yeah, okay. Let's do more.
I love that all of us have the Zoom vocabulary now. Really down. Okay, if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self as a dancer, what would it be?
I said it before, and it bears repeating because it made such an impact on my life when I stopped doing it, was I'm a recovering people pleaser. That people pleasing thing really shaped who I was as a performer. And if I could go back and be like, bro, don't even bother. Nobody's going to be happy no matter what you do. So do it the way you want. Like,
I love
live
it.
Inside of it. Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready? We're going to dance out. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Let's feel our improv souls together.
Okay.
Ready, Lucy? Oh. Can you hear it?